Hello everyone, it is me, Kasey, and this is Greg. And in today's video, I'm going to be revisiting something I said I would never do again because of the amount of hate I got, but I enjoyed it, so here I am. That's right, we are painting on thrifted art once again. Yes, this is a real painting I bought at the thrift store, and I'm going to be painting on it. Okay, so before I get started, I just wanted to acknowledge and say a few words about the way people feel about this sort of content. I get it. Art is objective, but the reason why I love doing these videos, or at least making this kind of art, is that I think it's just a really cool concept. I'm collaborating with another artist to create another piece of art together. The artist, me, and the other person, we don't know each other, but we created something personally I think is really cool. Look, I can admit, I'm not good at realism, but I do like the combination of really cute, fun characters with the realism background together to create a piece of art, and with the help of a thrift store, I can get that realism art and put my cute and fun characters on top of it. I do this with respect. I'm not destroying the art in any way. At least, I don't think so. I understand where you're coming from if you think it's disrespectful, but calling me a piece of shit and the worst human ever is not going to change my mind on that. If this content upsets you, click away, watch something else, and you'll be much happier. And so will I, because that video is the first and only time being a content creator has made me cry. And what did you accomplish? I still want to do it. I still own the pieces from the original video. I have them hanging up on my wall and I see them every single day in my home. I think that gives them a second chance at life. Otherwise, they're going to end up in a landfill or the middle of the ocean. I mean, which do you guys prefer? And with that, let's get started painting on our first thrifted piece. We have a beautiful mountain reflecting in a mountain lake. What kind of creature are we going to paint on it? Let's find out together. For these paintings, I'm going to be using my blind bag Lil Guy enamel pins as inspiration for the creatures we're going to be adding into our paintings. You can grab your own Lil Guy enamel pin on my shop, KaseyGolden.com. Collect all 8. Link in the description, of course. For our mountain painting, I was thinking blue. Let's see what our blue guy has. I love a mystery blind bag. Let's see who we got. And oh my gosh, that is perfect. We got our little alligator buddy. Look how tiny he is. Oh my gosh. Alligators will absolutely go perfect in this painting. We have so much water to work with. Who knows? Maybe I'll even give some wings and see what we can do up there. All right, let's see what we've got. Starting off with our sketching, I wanted to start off normal. We have our little alligator guy as our prompt, so I sketched a couple of alligators just hanging out in the water. So just keeping it simple and having alligators in the water was cute, but I felt like we needed to go a little bit mystical magical. So then I thought about some sort of alligator-inspired dragon in the water, and he was cute, but I felt like there needed to be something in the background, so I threw up some really giant flowers on the mountain, which was kind of cool, but he needed a friend, so I gave him a bird friend. And for the final sketch, I was thinking we need to go even more dragon. I really love the concept of that one, but maybe I can do that in another future piece. For now, we're gonna go with the bird buds. So again, considering the inspiration was our green alligator pin, I was thinking our alligator guy should be green, right? But that's just our inspiration. I'm not trying to recreate these creatures into the painting, and I was looking at the color of the painting. There is a lot of green in the mountains, and I just felt like maybe the alligator was going to blend in a little bit too much with all of the green. There was a little bit of dookie diarrhea yellow-green in the left there, and I really like that color, and because our character was mostly going to be where the blue was, I thought an orangey yellow mustard color would be absolutely perfect. And you know what? It was perfect. It was the good choice. I was also going to be making the birds red, and I just thought the red green was just a little too festive, and I just didn't like how too cartoony it was. I love how the yellowy orange complemented the blue, and then the red birds complemented the green where it would be touching. So that's what I went with. So this painting really focuses on this mountain in the background reflecting into the water, but I just kind of felt like No hate to the original painter. The strokes of the mountain going downwards or vertically just didn't really represent water to me. When I think about a reflection of water, I think about things sort of being reflected, but also sort of being stretched and distorted horizontally. Does that make sense? I wasn't getting a good sense of water, and the area where the mountain and the water touch was just very not apparent. So I wanted to add a lot more details where the water ripples and reflects, I guess, the light. And I did reflect our characters in the water, but I also added a lot of white lines, which is a very simple way of making water look like water, but I definitely think it helped really separate the water from the land in this piece. And as a collaborative effort, I think me and this artist really made it work. To be honest, I feel kind of meh about the giant birds on the mountain in the background. I felt like there needed to be something in the background on the mountains, but I just don't think I really got to where I wanted them to be. The flowers were cool, but it just, I don't know, it just seemed kind of random. I felt like maybe having more birds with our friends in the foreground would really bring them all together, but I don't know. The good thing about painting is that even though the video is finished, I can always go back and add something if I feel like it needs it, which who knows, maybe I'll add some more birds in the water. I did think about adding birds in the water, but I didn't want to overcrowd the piece. Though one final detail that you already see me do was that I put some bird poo on our dragon friend's face. I thought it was goofy, it's a small little detail, and I'm immature. Anyway, I absolutely love our little bird friend. His eyes are huge, he's adorable, I love the way the colors pop, and I absolutely love this piece. Our next piece is this beautiful winter landscape with a cabin in the middle of the woods, so much snow. I hope you get a character that isn't white. If I get a white character, it's gonna be hidden, but that could be kind of fun. All right, let's see what we got. For our winter painting, I was inspired, so I grabbed a silver package. Let's just see who we have. And we have no way. I just blew out my microphone. I got the super rare unicorn, which is awesome because he's going to add some color to our white painting. Oh my God, I can see it now. We've got a unicorn. Oh, this whole little space right here for our unicorn to stay in, maybe some babies. Oh my goodness. All right, let's get to sketching some ideas. So because this piece is in a winter setting, there is a lot of white and not a lot of color happening. It's very blue, blue in the trees, blue in the sky. The snow has a slight blue hue. The cabin is brown. There's not a lot going on for it. And I thought this was the perfect opportunity to take inspiration from our rainbow unicorn and really just add a splash of color to this piece. So right away, you know I'm adding a rainbow in the sky. Something I've noticed about a lot of these pieces is that they don't really add a lot of clouds to the skies. I don't know, as a non-realism landscape painter, I'm not sure if maybe painting clouds is just cliche or very hard to do. I just noticed that a lot of landscape paintings you find don't have a lot of clouds happening. I am super off topic. We're supposed to be talking about the sketches. To be honest, I kind of struggled with what I wanted to do with this piece. I knew I wanted there to be a rainbow in the sky to add a pop of color, but with our unicorn, I really just wasn't sure what I wanted to do. Each of the three sketches weren't very unique. They all sort of had the same idea, just different placements and arrangements for the character and the trees I wanted to add. But the general idea of this piece is that it is currently winter and there is snow on the ground, but this unicorn is coming by to bring spring. In some of the sketches, you may have noticed the unicorn walking across the landscape and there being a trail of plants and trees and grass following it. And I really like that idea of spreading color across the page. And like I mentioned before, I just absolutely love the idea of taking these realism backgrounds and adding really cartoony, simple, colorful characters to them. I just think it's really fun. The contrast of styles is it's just so appealing to me. I don't know why. So we have our addition of an absolute blast of color of a rainbow coming from the trees, and of course my styled clouds around it. I was sort of regretting how bold and intense that rainbow is because it just seemed kind of a little bit over the top and goofy. I thought maybe I should have used pastels, maybe had the rainbow fade behind the trees, but once all the elements started to come together, I just trusted the process and I think it looks okay. So moving on to our trail of plants, I was really excited about adding my additional tree. I just thought the contrast of my really goofy, shapely, stylized tree was going to look really cute amongst those absolutely detailed trees. A trail of green grass poking up through the snow. We have a couple of flowers, just a couple, just to add a little bit of a pop of a color. I didn't want to go too crazy. Spring is just coming. It's not in full effect yet. I was also thinking about putting snow on the tree, but the last thing we need in this piece is more white. Speaking of white, I was pretty nervous about painting our unicorn all white. Now, obviously, I didn't have to make the unicorn white. I could have made the unicorn any color I wanted to, but I just feel like white unicorns are a classic, and I also wanted to focus on the hair of the unicorn being really colorful. I still wasn't sure if I wanted to do a rainbow mane like I did in the original pin. The rainbow in the sky was just so intense, I just wasn't sure if we needed more rainbow. But when it came to painting our unicorn, gosh, this was really nerve-wracking. The trees were very textured, so you can definitely see the paint I painted over is just very textured with the trees behind it. There was nothing I could do about it. Could I have sanded it down? Maybe, but that sounds horrifying. It doesn't look too bad. If anything, it kind of makes the horse look a little fuzzy and textured. And because the painting itself wasn't absolutely white like I was using, you could still see the horse, thank goodness. So if I didn't want to paint the main rainbow color, what was I going to do? I started to think about the fact that this is a horse bringing spring. So then I thought, well, I should just keep the green theme and make the hair of this unicorn grass. So that's what I did. I just gave this unicorn's mane the same grass green I used in the grass. It's super simple, but I think it makes a lot of sense. It's the spring bringing unicorn. It's got grass for hair. I think this one turned out really cute. It's got a little pop of color. Plants are growing. It's magical. It's great. Next up, we have this lake piece. It kind of looks like it's some sort of swampy, marshy area. I really like the frame. Look at this frame. That's crazy. But more about the art. Look at the art. I want to put some sort of little character in the water doing something. I think that could be fun, so let's get into it. For our autumny, swampy scene, I was inspired by the gold warm colors. Let's see what a gold package has. And we have, oh my gosh. We have our little duck guy. Actually kind of perfect. Duck, maybe. We've got the perfect little pond area for a bunch of little ducks to be hanging out with, maybe even flying. I'm excited. Okay, let's see what our little duck's gonna be doing. So you know the drill, we started off by just sketching some basic ducks in this piece, but immediately I was already thinking, what if I had a mommy duck with some ducklings, and then I added an odd one? But I did some sketches with a weird elongated duck, then I sketched a giant duck looking at a normal duck, and we have done a lot of magical paintings today, and I was thinking this piece just kind of looks like a nature painting that you would find of a duck. You know those just really majestic paintings of wildlife? It kind of reminded me of that. So I decided to go with the ugly ducking scenario, and I just painted in my style some really cute ducks in the water. To be honest, that's about all there is to say about this piece. I do really like it. I actually think this actually might be my favorite one. I really like how simple it is, yet it does very much include my style in with this landscape piece. Again, I added reflections in the water just to incorporate more of the characters into the piece, and then also creating a little bit more of a gradient between this cartoon world going into this real world. So you have little details here and there that just sort of mix it together and make it a smoother transition with these characters in here. Now you may have noticed I added clouds to every single one of these pieces. To be honest, I just really like the way I draw cartoony clouds, and I think that's just a really easy, simple, and fun way to, again, make a nice gradient to combine both of these worlds together so that it's a little bit less jarring. If you have some sprinkles of a cartoon style throughout the piece, it's a little bit more cohesive than just having a character boom right in the middle and then that's it. And I also didn't want to add too much to these pieces. If you watched my original video where I did this last time, I feel like I painted over entirely way too much of some of those paintings. At one point, I just put a big glob of a ghost on one piece and I absolutely regret that. It looks awful and it covers up too much of the original painting. I really want my edition to be a small addition to these pieces and you can still focus on the original art. So that's why I didn't want to add too much to these guys. And also one of the more popular comments I got on the last video, and I will just touch on really quick, is the paint I used. A lot of people were concerned that I was painting acrylic paint on top of oil paint and that the additions I made would crack and fall apart over time. I will say my paintings are in absolutely perfect addition. No cracking. They're doing great. I was also very uncomfortable using acrylic in the past, and I've now moved on to acrylic gouache, and I'm way more comfortable using that paint. Again, how is that going to last on this painting? I don't know, but to be honest, it's not that serious. I'm enjoying making these pieces. They're gonna hang up in my home where I get to enjoy them. If they need touch-ups, I'll touch them up. I love all three of these pieces, and they are definitely going up my wall. And that is it for painting on thrifted art. I absolutely love doing these paintings, and no matter how much you guys bully me, I'm gonna keep doing it. But hopefully you enjoyed this video as well. Thank you so much for watching. Check out my shop for all of my things and pins and whatnot, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Bye. Say bye, Greg. He's shy. Before I go, I want to give a huge thank you to my patrons for their monthly support. You guys are the best. If you want early access, these videos, secret sketches, live streams, and more, check out the link to my Patreon in the description. Thank you guys so much for your support, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye.